The new Tacoma XLT. Would you buy this truck?
Well, good morning, everybody. How are you today? Pretty good here. So I'm curious, would anybody out there be interested in a Tacoma XLT? Now, no, this doesn't exist yet, but let me tell you, I was out cruising around in the Tacoma back there. I was actually shooting a different video, and as I was progressing through that video, I thought of this, and it started to make a lot of sense to me. You know, right now, the truck market is kind of blah. I mean, it's just, you have your big size trucks and you have your small size trucks. What is supposedly a small truck anymore? They're pretty big to me. But anyway, I got to thinking, Toyota is in the process of redesigning the Tundra, and right behind that is going to come the Tacoma. And I got to thinking, Toyota, this is their chance to really do something unique, to maybe introduce something new into the market that might take a bite out of both sides. Of course, they already have the mid-size Tacoma as number one, so it might not be such a good idea there, or it could actually help them out. So what am I talking about? Well, what I'm talking about is a Tacoma XLT. Stands for extra large truck, right? Now, my thought process here is let's make something in between the mid-size current Toyota Tacoma and the Toyota Tundra and just sell one truck with two different trim levels, if you will, two different option packages. Or maybe there could be three or four, who knows? But you're only producing one truck. Now, if they did that, I think they would have to grow the Tacoma a little bit or shrink down the Tundra, if you will. What I mean by that is let's take the Tacoma as our benchmark, right? Because it is the number one selling midsize truck, and the Tundra, it kind of floats out there somewhere below all the rest. So you take the Tacoma and you increase it dimensionally. Not as big as a full-size truck or a full-size Tundra, but big enough so that you could include the full-size functionality. In other words, I would want a full-size bed, so we'd have to get a little bit wider, a little bit longer, and in doing that, that would make the cab a little bit wider and potentially a little bit longer as well, thus increasing the size of the cab itself, right? But keeping the truck under the full-size size, if you will. So kind of an extra large Tacoma or an extra large mid-sized truck designed to satisfy both needs. Because we don't have that right now. We have the gigantic full-size trucks. The Tundra is huge. And then we have the not so small mid-sized trucks as well. Now, I mentioned two different trim lines or option packages, if you will. So what I'm thinking is we have this one model. It's a bigger Tacoma, if you will, but we have two different packages for it. The first one is the regular, we'll call it the regular Tacoma. You could come up with some flashier name, doesn't matter. And in that truck, you could have one or maybe two engine options. You have the 3.5 liter V6 or the V6 Turbo 4. So they could get into something that would get better gas mileage and utilize the twin turbo that we keep hearing about. Now, this truck, in my opinion, would need to have 300 horsepower, so we are going to bump up what we currently have a little bit, right? And 310 pound-feet of torque. Now, we're going to keep the payload pretty much the same as what the current Toyota Tacoma is, right? Maybe a little bit higher, about 1,800 pounds, and then towing, we're going to keep it about the same as it is right now. It would be offered in both a two-wheel and four-wheel drive package, just like we have right now. Now, let's talk about the Tacoma XLT. This is going to be the new Big Daddy, right? We're going to put a 4.6 liter V8 in it. Now, Toyota already has that motor, right? They've used the 4.6 liter V8 in the Tundra. I have one. It's an awesome motor, plenty of power for that truck, and plenty of power for the Tacoma XLT. Because keep in mind, even though we're going to grow it a bit, it's still going to be smaller than the full-size Tundra, which means it's going to be lighter. So we're going to be even quicker because we're not going to be hauling around all that weight, right? In that truck, my opinion, we should have 380 horsepower and 400 pound-feet of torque. Wouldn't that be awesome? We get to keep our V8 and still have some good power in what would be a lighter truck. As I mentioned, the bed would grow because we would need to accommodate what a full-size bed currently does. And the cab would grow as well. It would be a byproduct of making the truck a little bit bigger to be a Tacoma XLT, extra large truck. Towing and payload has to go up, and it could, because this truck, again, would be a bit bigger and a bit heavier, a bit beefier than your regular Tacoma version. Two-wheel drive and four-wheel drive would be offered, the same as would be in the lower trims. Now, I mentioned, it's up to Toyota as to how many different packages they offer, right? I mean, they could offer a 3.5-liter V6 or the new V6 twin turbo, either one. I think this is an awesome idea because it would be a whole new niche for Toyota, right? Nobody out there is making a super mid-size truck or an XLT. I mean, you do have the Ford XLT, but that's in the full-size truck, right? And keep in mind, Toyota loves to jab Ford every once in a while. When they first came out with the Tundra, they were going to steal Ford's name. That didn't really work out, but they love to jab Ford once in a while. And this would be the perfect way to do it, right? The new Tacoma XLT. Plus, it would be good for them. It would reduce costs because it would have one body style that they're building, simply differentiated from each other with packages or options that are on it, like engine size and hauling capacity and towing capacity. I think it would be an awesome idea. We don't really have a mid-size, a mid-size, let's call it an extra large mid-size truck now. You either have the pretty darn large Tacoma or the full-size giant Tundra. This would be kind of a meshing of the two. And I say that they should kind of base it on the Tacoma once again because the Tacoma is the #1 selling mid-size truck, right? Why mess with what works when it comes to design? They could round it a little bit or something like that, maybe make it even a little bit more aerodynamic for mileage purposes and stuff like that. Anyway, leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Is this a crazy idea? Would you be interested in a Tacoma XLT? Kind of a super mid-size truck? I'd be curious to know. Also, real quick, if you're interested, I have 2 other channels. The first is RobMotive JT, all about my 2020 Jeep Gladiator. The second is RobMotive Civic, about my adventures with the Honda Civic Sport and the Honda Civic Type R. Check them out. If you like them, please consider subscribing. Don't forget to click that notification bell so that you don't miss out on any upcoming videos. And do me a favor, smash that subscribe button on the way out. Thanks for watching. Stay safe out there. Bye.